Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Mission Mike. Good evening. I don't know what time you're watching this, but I didn't want the day in without trying to help you guys out with just life in general, per usual. And today we're going to be talking about dating apps, dating sites, you name it, Tinder, Bumble, whatever, anything you can think of, eHarmony, Mingle, and whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. Once again, I'm your host, Mission Mike. If you're new to the channel, thank you for joining. Hope you end up subscribing if by the end of this thing. So let's jump in, and I've broken this down into three rules, three little points I want to make on whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. Okay, so point number one, we're going to talk about when it's time to say no or if it's a bad idea. Okay, first, I'm going to be real with you, whether you're Christian or not. Are you sexually motivated? Right out the gates. Low key, are you kind of, whether you're admitting it to yourself or not, are you trying to get laid? If the answer is yes, then my answer would be I would stay away from this stuff. And you can sit there and be telling yourself, yeah, I just want to meet someone, blah, blah. But if we hang out and have fun or whatever, and believe me, there's tons of Christians out there who completely are trying to get laid. So don't even don't buy that junk. The point is, if that's kind of a motivation in there, or if it's anything, where you're not being honest with yourself, I would stay away from it. Okay. Another one, are they distracting you from making forward progress in your life? Okay. Great example. Are you going to the gym and working out? Because let me tell you something, taking care of yourself, all right, is a prerequisite to finding the love of your life, to getting a boyfriend, a girlfriend, eventually husband or wife, right? So a lot of people will sit there and waste their time, being on an app and scrolling around for hours thinking that's how they're going to meet, their significant other, when in reality, it's maybe it's time to work out. So this thing should not be a distraction from your life. It should be supplemental, not a distraction. So if your life is not going well, okay, then you probably don't need to be doing one of these apps. In that case, it's just making it worse, right? Okay. Another point is to when it's time to say no. Okay, are you using this to replace your need to go out and interact with real people? Okay, you can't just live your life where you order crap on Amazon straight to your door and then you go to UPS to return it and think that that's adequate social interaction. No, you gotta be out there, y'all. And it can't replace that. If you don't ever leave your house ever, you should not be on the app. Okay. Or, maybe there may be some exceptions. Okay. But it needs to be because you can't leave the house. All right. But if it's just you're not doing anything to get out and about, then don't use this to further you being a hermit. You need to be at the grocery store. You know what? Guys and girls shop at Target. Go to Target and buy something you've been needing to buy and see if you can't find someone while you're there. Okay. But if you're not even doing that, stay away from the app. All right. Next up. This is going to go specific to males and then one to females. Males, are you using an app to hide from the need that you have to be able to go up to a girl and say hello? All right. That's how I met my wife. Okay. I planted my feet right in front of her, asked for a phone number, flirted, did all that junk. If you're unwilling to do that, it takes a fraction of the courage to sit there and try to flirt over some message where you could send out 100 messages to 100 girls and play a math game. 1 in 100 will work. No, don't be like that. You still need to be able to go up to a woman and say hello. So if you're going to be willing to say hello to her on an app, but you're not going to be willing to say hello to her face to face, don't use it to be a coward. Ladies, if you have a profile, you should not be photoshopping yourself. Okay? Does that make sense? If you're on the show, My 600-Pound Life, and then you create one of these and all you do is take face shots, that is false advertising. Okay? Whatever you look like, you need to be real. Don't just find the best lighting and your best foot forward and think that that's fair or that that's honest. Because deep down, that's coming from a place of insecurity. When the guy, let's say some guy, y'all hit it off and then he meets you, he should think you look better in real life than you do in your pictures, not the other way around. You should not arrive and he's like, oh my gosh. And he's already thinking of how to get out of there. All right. So guys, don't replace your courage. Ladies, don't try to be something you're not. All right. There needs to be some honesty going on. And, again, it cannot replace that real life interaction. And last but not least, this one goes to whatever your faith is. I'm a Christian. So, just try and relate. There's a principle in there, but it's look, if you're a believer, Don't sit there and get one of these to replace faith. All right. If you're doing this because you feel like God can't provide and you're trying to take things into your own hands, that happened when Abraham was promised he would have a son, Isaac, who became the whole Christian nation. Well, remember, he didn't wait. He didn't have no faith. He ended up going and having Ishmael. Ishmael became turned into the nation that became the very enemies of God's people. Does that make sense? His two sons eventually became like rivals. So in other words, your plans, if you take too much into your own hands and you're not having any faith in there, could compete with God. Now, a lot of you cowards are going to use that, what I just said, and use that to excuse, I didn't want to get one. I knew I didn't want to get one. I don't want to compete with God. No, that's a lie too. Okay. That's a lie. You should be working your buns off to like find your significant other. So these are the reasons to say no. Number two, I'm going to make this quick, but how to say yes. And we'll keep all this under 10 minutes. But look, you should be doing everything you can possible to get a boyfriend or girlfriend or eventually a husband or wife. Everything. Okay? Like including apps. So kind of rolls into the next point. Why would you not get one of these? If you're single, if you're alone, if every night you sit there and you pray to God, oh, send me somebody, you need to, like, God rewards people who, the old phrase, help themselves. Okay? Jesus talked about that. He's like, and again, it's okay if you're not Christian. Just so you know what I'm talking about. Jesus said, perseverance is what makes a prayer prevail. Okay? So you need to be like meeting God in the middle. Or, you need to be doing your part. So don't sit there and cry and whine all day to God about how you're single and you're alone if you're not doing everything you can to meet someone. And God gave every human, one of your purposes in life is to get married. Did you know this? You were created to be married. And by not doing that, I think that's a sin. Personally, you're just making excuses. You're not being obedient. You're just, I don't want to. Or maybe this isn't a good chapter in my life, blah, blah. Excuse. You think you know best. Well, guess what? You don't. You're supposed to be out there, so why would you not do everything you can? And here's another reason to say yes, okay? It can help you to open up your options. Holy cow, you guys. You can order a car exactly how you want it, have it delivered to your door. You just check a few boxes. Ooh, I want this, that. Why not do that with people? Okay, well, hair color, I want that. Ooh, I want this feature. There's an option for what their religion is. I don't care if you're Christian, atheist, agnostic, you name it, Mormon. You can probably narrow that down and find that. So go freaking find that. Why would you? And then have it delivered to your door, just like that freaking car, for free. The point is, have you ever heard of passive income? That's basically creating something to where it works for you while you sleep. Why would you not create a profile that can work for you while you're asleep? You wake up, oh, hey, so-and-so's interested. You look up, what do you know? I matched this person in every way possible. Okay? So yeah, absolutely, go for it. So, and again, also though, if your life's busy and you are taking care of things, you're working hard, you're self-improving, you're going to the gym, you're doing all these things, then it's a great way to where, like, maybe if you're super busy, to add an extra layer of help to be like, you know what? Are we not on YouTube? Hanging out, talking, learning? Are you not coming here for knowledge? Am I not? You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, everything's on the internet. It's a part of life. Don't act like an angry old person. I don't like things. It is what it is. So why would you not also go join the world on the internet as well? Make sense? Hopefully it does. So point number one, when to say no. Point number two, when to say yes. And lastly, what would I do? Okay, now I never set up a Bumble or a Tinder, so I cannot speak from personal experience. Okay, but I'll tell you why. I felt like they limited me. I'm a talker. I have a larger level of confidence than most guys. So I felt like being able to go up to a girl face to face and plant my feet and say hello played to my strengths. But maybe you're not that way. Maybe as a guy, you're a little bit on the shyer end. You're not, loud, not going. That's okay too, right? So there's no real right or wrong. Because all I can tell you is what I did is I did everything I possibly could. So I was out there, y'all. I was like running errands every single night. I was either at the grocery store, I was at Barnes & Noble, I was at the gym. I put myself out there. That's how I met my wife at this Christian store called Mardell, and I was doing anything I could to be out there. So that's my advice. Figure out how you can do anything you can to be out there. Maybe that is an app. Okay. Are they biblical? Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with it, you guys. If you're not there with an ill intent, you're just trying to meet someone, yeah, why would you not? It's just being intelligent, okay? So if you haven't met your spouse, ask yourself, how badly do you want to, and to what length would you go? If you pray to God all the time to send you someone, then in my opinion, I think you should be taking that extra step, and maybe you should be on one of these social medias. I already gave you reasons when it's time to say no, but if you're really, really serious about meeting somebody, then maybe the answer is yes, okay? So, and just one piece of advice, if you do create one, lead off with your faith or lack of, whatever it is, be honest. Don't hit it off with someone and all of a sudden you connect and then you tell them, hey, you're Christian, or hey, you're atheist, or hey, you're agnostic. Don't wait till then. Lead with it. And that will help filter out. So the first thing that should be there, Christian, single, guy, girl, I love this, and right out the gates, that will weed out everyone you don't want there. Make sense? Well, hope this helps. Love you guys. And if it did, visit milkandmiel.coffee. Miel, M-I-E-L, Spanish word for honey, milk and miel. Pick yourself up a bag of coffee, or there's a link where you can buy me a coffee. All right, if this helped. If not, then stop making excuses and go back and watch the video over. I promise. Just hear what I'm saying. I promise you it'll work. Okay? Love you guys. I'm rooting for you. Woo! You got this. Go meet your loved one. Woo!